What's up, guys? Welcome to the next Versus video. Will and I got to sit down, pick a couple random decks, and have some fun building something without the other person knowing anything but the colors.
Kevin ended up in Naya. I ended up in Izzet, which is kind of one of my favorite decks. There are a lot of directions you can go with Izzet. So I went with my take on a Delver deck, which featured two different cards you don't always see in Delver. It was True Name Nemesis and Blood Moon. So my thinking here is Blood Moon will shut off 2/3 of Naya's colors, which is sweet. And if I know anything about Kevin, which I do, he's playing a little bit more controlling, a little bit more mean. So I'm expecting Thalia's. I'm expecting something, I don't know, that maybe protects him in some way from white, really. So if I can make his special lands, his non-base X into mountains, I feel pretty good. And True Name obviously is a busted card.
So I'm kind of worried about Will because Izzet is his favorite color combination ever. He loves it, and he's gonna pull out some kind of tricky deck. I just know he is. So I feel like I have to prepare in the best way that I possibly can, which for me screams, let's build a Toolbox deck. The whole deck actually centered around one singular card called Recruiter of the Guard. It was a card in a one-off set of Conspiracy Take the Crown, and it is amazing. It lets you fetch out cards based on their toughness. As long as it is 2 or less, you can fetch it out at any point when that card comes into play. And I was able to pull a ton of cards that all either protected my game plan or hurt his game plan. So with all these hate bears, I'm feeling pretty good. No matter what he has, I feel like I've got the tools to answer it. So without further ado, let's get into the game. So my opening hand for game 1 has a couple lands in it, really only 2, which is a bit low, but it does have an Aether Vial, which is crucial. He is playing blue, so I have to be worried about counter spells. Aether Vial gets out from under those, so I have to be excited about that.
Game 1, I'm feeling really good. My hand is super powerful even though it has no red stuff in it. I'm holding 3 islands, Mana Drain, Brainstorm, but most importantly 2 True Name Nemesis, which I know Kevin probably doesn't have an answer to. I will play an island, and we'll cast Brainstorm. Turn 1, I cast Brainstorm. It's always good to get the ball rolling, draw some cards, and see what else you're playing with. And I draw Probe, which if you know, I think is a free spell. Basically, it's just a bunch of deck thinning. So look at Kevin's hand and see he's got Aether Vial, which is kind of scary. I know I need to look out for that. Basically makes his creatures uncounterable. But I do draw into Force of Will, so I'm feeling really good about that.
Okay, I will draw for a turn.
Counter!
Alright, I am going to play Plains for my land, tap it, and play an Aether Vial. Go ahead.
Turn 2, land go. I'm holding up Mana Drain. I'm not feeling pressured, really. I know Kevin can only take up to 1 counter on Aether Vial, so I'm not feeling too scared about what he's got coming.
Turn 2, I really don't have many plays, so I go ahead and put an Arid Mesa out, and then on his turn, I'm actually able to Aether Vial out a Grim Lavamancer.
I just play out my True Name Nemesis here, because I feel like it's time to stick threats and start swinging.
We'll play a Stomping Ground, untap, so I'll take 2. And then we will play a Recruiter of the Guard. So unfortunately, Will already has out his first True Name Nemesis of the game, which is terrible for me, but he is tapped out, so I decide, okay, you know what, now's the time. I'm gonna go ahead and play my Recruiter, fetch up something really awesome, and hopefully win the game that way. Unfortunately, Will also put a 1 of Force of Will in his deck, and he happened to have it. All right, go ahead.
My next turn, I swing with True Name Nemesis to start the damage going, and then I just play out my second. This is it now. We've turned into mono blue aggro, and I'm fine with it.
Okay. I will take up Aether Vial to 3. Cool. And draw for a turn.
Okay.
Temple Guard or a Death Ray Shot. And then tap a Stomping Ground or Death Ray Shot.
Okay. All right, next turn. Finally drew my red spell. I drew a Bolt. Can I cast it? No, I can't. That's fine though. So we swing with the other True Name Nemesis, and we are dealing a ton of damage. Main phase 2, play my 3rd one, and I'm representing lethal next turn, which feels so good. So good.
All right, so he's got 3 True Names. Feels bad. Feels really bad. I don't have a way out of this. But I do have Deathrite Shaman, and I can gain a couple life back and buy myself a turn. So I'll go ahead and do that, and that's about it.
So Kevin gains 2 life from his Deathrite Shaman, which I knew he would do. So now he's at 10, I can only deal 9 damage. I'm fine with that, we'll get him to 1. I did the quick math. There's no way he can deal enough damage to kill me. He needs 14 points of damage, which I just don't think is gonna happen. So I swing the team, get him to 1, and I'm feeling really good.
So on turn 6, I decide I'm just gonna go ahead and swing with everything because, I mean, what else am I gonna do? I get him down pretty low, but he still has so much power on board, there's just really not much I can do at this point.
Right, untap the boys. Curly, Mo, or Larry?
Curly.
And we'll swing with 1 true nemesis.
Boop. Did it. So game 2, I get to be on the play because I lost game 1, and I really don't have that great of an opening hand. I have 5 lands, but I figure, you know what, some of them are fetch lands, and I'd like to be able to make sure I don't get Blood Moon, which I am cautious of because I know will.
Game 2, my opening hand is risky. I'm scared. I'm only holding 3 islands as my mana source, but I'm holding Riftbolt, Blood Moon, Mana Leak, and Gataxian Probe. Being on the draw, I'm feeling okay about getting a red source eventually, or at least more stuff to use with my blue mana. So I decide that I'm gonna keep it.
All right, so the first couple turns of the game, neither of us are really doing anything. It's just land go, but on turn 3, I decide, you know what, I've got the recruiter, let's go ahead and try it. I play it out, and unfortunately, he already has a mana leak, so it gets countered, and I don't get to tutor up anything useful. At this point, I'm feeling pretty bad because that was really my one way to get something out of this game. I really don't have much in the rest of my hand.
Yep. All right, untap that there. Play this island, and pass the turn.
On turn 4, I do draw a Thalia, so I think now might be a really good time to play it. It'll hopefully keep him off of his game plan, or at least slow him down a little bit. But unfortunately, he has a mana drain, and the fact that he mana drains the Thalia is a bit of a red flag to me that he's probably not got much in his hand either.
Okay, finally we get our red, and I can play Steam Vents. Play Steam Vents, I play Blood Moon, and I'm feeling okay.
All right, I will untap and draw. Tap those 3. Recruiter. So without anything on board, I finally draw another recruiter. So I go ahead and play it, and I actually pull out a Huntmaster of the Fells. This is a great card because not only is it almost always going to be a 2-for-1 thanks to the token, but also pads my life total and gives him incentive to start playing cards and not be so proactive about countering my stuff.
I am not feeling good. I have a Riftbolt, so I can kill the Huntmaster should it come to that, but it's not the removal you want. Cool. Yeah, man.
We'll untap.
Like a cucumber. Fresh as lettuce.
And we will first move to attacks.
Yeah, do it.
Zoink. We will play. Dueling Strike. You know what's better than a 2-for-1? About a 5-for-1.
Who would have thought that it's squirrels? It's freaking squirrels that terrify me. First, we will play Riftbolt. Targeting the Hermit. Okay, Hermit's dead. Check. That's the first thing I have to do. The 2/2 squirrels are now 1/1 squirrels. Again, I bought myself a little more time, but I'm taking 5 points of damage next turn. So I start swinging in, dealing a ton of damage each turn, and on my final turn, I'm actually able to play a Huntmaster of the Fells, get another 2/2 token out there, gain some life back, and swing in for the win. Squirrel to the heart. Okay, so we were strapped for time, game 3. We needed to speed through it, so we did it. I'm holding a juicy opening hand. I've got Electrolyze, I've got Preordain, Blood Moon, Steam Vents, 2 Islands, and some other card, honestly, who cares? I'm feeling really good.
So game 3, we are both 1-1. One of us is gonna come out on top with this one, and I keep my hand solely because it has a couple of Thalias in it, and normally I don't like to have redundancy, but against a counterspell deck and a removal heavy deck, I think, you know what, if the first one doesn't stick, at least the second one will. So I try and play my first Thalia, unfortunately it's countered. Try and play my second Thalia, unfortunately it is electrolyzed. So at this point, I really don't have any game plan. and he sticks a Blood Moon, which shuts off all of my lands.
All Kevin has over there is non-basic lands, so my Blood Moon, I think, has won me the game on turn 3.
So for the rest of the game, I proceed to draw a lot of lands, none of which are basic, so all of them are mountains.
Alright, my game plan has become draw cards, hopefully get more True Name Nemesis. Kevin has played nothing, so I'm feeling great. We're just boop, swinging and hitting.
I finally draw a Plains. I think, you know what, maybe I've got a shot. I don't have a shot. I try and play my last Thalia, but by that time, he's already got True Name Nemesis out and is swinging at me for tons of damage.
So my turns, really, I just drew a bunch of stuff. It doesn't matter. I had True Name Nemesis, my merfolk scary dude. He's out there stabbing, shivving, doing his merfolk thing, and I got 3 of them at this point. So I mean, the game is pretty much won. Blood Moon kept him off all his lands, which is the plan, and then True Name won it for me. So get yourself a True Name Nemesis. Yeah.
Guys, thank you so much for watching this episode of the Versus series. We really hope you enjoyed it. If you have any deck suggestions, please leave them in the comment section below. And as always, make sure to like and subscribe if you want to see more and more awesome content.
What am I gonna brew for our tiebreaker game? Maybe Legacy Storm? Right. Not a millionaire. Probably not that. If you have any suggestions for our tiebreaker match, leave them in the comments below. Or shoot us a comment on Instagram, whatever. We're gonna go celebrate. Kev, thank you. We'll see you next time, guys. Peace!